It's Operation Babble with Mike Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
Oh, my ears. Why would you do that?
Now that our ears are blown out, let's record an episode of Operation Babble where neither of us can hear anything. Oh, I am super red on my camera again. I just had it fixed 2 seconds ago and now it's there. Okay, it's gonna come back. Just watch. So, hello, Tivis, my man. How have you been today? Or this week? It's been a week.
Yeah, it has been quite a week.
A week. If there's things going on in the world, I have no idea because I have not paid attention to
No,
any
I don't know. Not that I've heard, but it's just Leo Rush won the challenge by his own accord, and that's sad.
All right, so we are going to end up talking about WandaVision, episode 3, I believe it is, right?
Three.
Yeah. It twisted, it got me messed up because they dropped 1 and 2 at the same time, so I just watched them back to back and I just felt it's like one episode. So, yeah. What else have you been watching though before we dive into all that stuff? What have you been watching this past week or month?
I am getting so close to getting to Theo in Power Rangers. I am in the Alien arc miniseries. The challenge, like I said earlier, and Batwoman still on that.
Yeah. Episode 2 dropped on Sunday.
Sunday.
So, I have
They're
not
only doing one
that
episode a
yet.
week, which
Yeah.
is
It's
frustrating.
CW, which they do.
Where is Supergirl?
Like, where is Supergirl as in like the character herself or the show?
Both. Or news, anything.
Right? Well, no, they're gonna do that. I think what CW is gonna end up doing is just one show at a time instead of doing like back to back how they were doing them, where every week there was like one show a day. Now they're just like, nope, we're just gonna do one show at a time. Y'all can wait. We don't have anything made anyway, so
It's just frustrating. You think they would at least give us news that, hey, it's going to be delayed because they have what, like one Sunday left this month to premiere it?
was it supposed to come out in January?
Yeah, in September. They're like, hey, 20 episode season starting in January, and then nothing.
Yeah. Oh, I know Flash got put back, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure what they're
that's in
doing with all
February
that.
now.
And Flash is like they cut that season. The last season, they didn't even finish out the story. They
No,
just
they left on a
ended it.
cliffhanger, which I think might have been for the best because it makes me excited for the new season.
Hopefully they change some stuff up. Sorry, audio people, if you can hear some things that sound like popping. They're putting a roof on the house right next to me, so yeah.
I couldn't.
I'm I'm just hearing and it's
That's a
annoying me,
podcast without construction in the background.
right? Every podcast has construction or sirens or some bullshit going on.
Did you
So,
uh did you check out the Walker Texas Ranger premiere?
God no, I'm not gonna watch
No.
that. The only thing
Apparently
I'm watching
it got some good reviews. The
is it.
highest premiere since Flash season 4 for CW.
Look, this. So I watched Walker Texas growing up with Chuck Norris, but even that wasn't like mind blowing or anything to me. It was as a kid too. You're kind of just like, oh, cool. Where's the fighty happening now?
It looks like they really CW'd it too, because there's just from the first episode, I heard a clip from it, and it sounds like there's a lot of romance drama already.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the basis I believe is like his wife got killed or something, and that's why he's there. That's what they threw in the trailer, anyways. Um, it was like a wife got killed, and then yeah, it's interesting. I think the guy who plays Walker is one of the guys from Supernatural, correct?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't
I'm
watch
not sure which
Supernatural,
one.
so look, if it's not a comic book show now, I'm not watching it on the CW. It's not worth my time.
I'll check it out when it comes to Netflix or something, if I still have Netflix. God, raising their price or something again.
It's not gonna go to Netflix. It's gonna go HBO Max.
Maybe.
They're gonna just keep it all in house. You
Yeah,
know,
well, they might.
because Impractical Jokers is on HBO Max. They don't put that shit on Netflix, or I think Amazon has it, but you have to pay for it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably.
So,
They got oh god. Speaking of Leo Rush, the WWE news with going to Peacock
are they
uh
morphing it together, or they're just putting
in
their
America.
content? They're in America, so they're keeping Universe WWE Universe
The network.
internationally, but so in America, in the states, I guess we don't say America, we say the states. Come on now.
US
they're
of A.
they're uh they're going to morph WWE Universe in with Peacock, or if you get Peacock, you get the WWE deal.
The network is ending here, and you will only be able to watch their original content and the replays on Peacock now. Which
Okay.
I've had Peacock, the free version. It is a jumbled mess.
Yeah.
Like I hope to God they section out some of their stuff, and maybe they will, especially now that they're planning on doing some pricing tiers based on The Office, which is not a joke. They are honestly basing it on the one show.
Okay.
Um, but they really need to like how anyone who has Disney Plus or HBO Max or Discovery, since that's out, and probably Paramount here soon, they have the channels. Like you can
Wait.
go to that specific, the shows to that channel.
Yeah.
Peacock does not have that. At least it didn't
So,
when I used it.
does Discovery have their own streaming service, or is it just like
Yeah, Discovery Plus. It's got
okay?
tons of shit on it, like TLC, travel, science.
That seems like it's like a $4 streaming service to me. I
I
think.
want to say it's like $6.99.
Really?
I'm not 100%. Let me check.
Like Disney is still $6.99, I believe. So I'm not sure what that one would be. I don't. I could see it as a like an Amazon add-on, and that's about it for $4.
Okay. So you can get $5 a month with commercials or $7 without.
Okay.
But my issue with that is they don't have old Crocodile Hunter or Planet's Funniest Animals, so they're missing some of my Animal Planet staples.
I wonder if they're gonna do any original. Oh, I'm sure they're doing original shit on there too.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. They
everybody
have.
does
Okay.
original content now.
If anyone likes Ghost Adventures, they have like 7 originals
Yeah,
because the 12 on TV wasn't enough.
yeah. So with the WWE deal, are they getting like their back catalog from like the very beginning on through, like we've
Yeah.
had already? So everything
Everything
that's there is just
everything that
going.
was on the network will be on Peacock. Which I mean, in business side, it makes sense for both of them because Peacock is kind of the lower tiers of the
Yeah,
streaming world right now, and WWE kind of they need a new audience like desperately because they don't know how to do it on their own.
right. And Peacock is NBC, which is Universal, right? I believe that's Universal.
You might be right.
Um, because then CBS is Viacom and all that shit, and then
Yep, NBC Universal.
NBC Universal. Okay, yeah, so that's actually a good one for them to work out with. I wonder if they, how much of a cut WWE gets from it, or like how big the contract is looking for Vince. You know,
They they've guessed it's going to be $1 billion for
like
over 5 years.
WWE's gonna get $1 billion, or
Yeah. So they got $1 billion for a 4-year deal with USA and Fox. So that's two, and they're getting a third billion estimated. This is they never reported the actual number, but this is estimated from this deal for 5 years.
fuck them, man. And the nice thing is too with that, like, or the good thing for them, I should say, not the nice thing. The good thing for them is it's all content that they don't have to do extra shit for. You know, it's already done. It's already made,
Mhm.
except for their original stuff, which it's like half of their original shows I feel were just things they couldn't pitch to like MTV or something anymore. Like what was it? It
Was it
was like
Jerry
Legend,
Springer? Yeah,
yeah,
Legends House. Oh god, that was the
Legends House.
worst.
That felt like
Uh,
it was like a pitch to MTV, and Viacom was like, "Nah, we good."
what is it? The Mick Foley family show. That
Yeah,
one. That was an improvement over Legends House, but still not great reality.
right. Yeah. Oh, there's there was quite a few of them. The only one I really watched when I had Universe, because I would pick it up for like a month here or there, and then watch what I wanted to watch, and then drop it. Sorry, WWE, it's just not worth $10 a month. But I would watch Stone Cold stuff, like because he would do
Yeah.
the talk show thing, and yeah, I would watch that. About that's pretty much it. And then I got it for when Undertaker did like the docu series thing, the Last Ride, I think it was called. So
I think if you get it and it converts to Peacock, you get Peacock for like $5 or something for a little bit. I don't know. There's some kind of deal they got going on.
okay,
So if anyone's interested in getting Peacock, you might want to just go to WWE Network, even if you're not a wrestling fan, and you might get it cheaper.
well, how much is Peacock normally without ads and all that shit? It's like $7, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like the standard.
Six
Seems
nine
to be
nine
anyway.
seven, something like that. Because they don't have a whole lot of content to be bringing you in, and they're not, and it's just called Peacock, so it's
Yeah.
like,
So
if,
$5 with ads, $10 without. So they're a little pricier
okay,
for
okay.
a shittier UI.
But at least they give you the option to have an ads free version,
Hmm.
Or no, wait, you said $5 with ads.
Hmm. Or
Okay.
10 without.
And 10 without. But there was a free version, but you just didn't get the original content, right? Or did they get rid of that already?
You can. So we got the free one to try and watch the third season of AP Bio.
Hmm.
Really pissed off at that because it let us watch like 3 episodes and then cut us off.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. It's like to let you see what you got, what they have, and get you in there. Yeah. Stupid streaming services. I hate them. But I also love them because, yeah, what I've been watching has been mostly just on Amazon Prime lately. They finally brought, uh, I don't know why, but I was watching Comic Book Men on there, and then they dropped it, and then they brought it back. So I've been watching Comic Book Men during the day, uh, when I'm doing shit around the house, and then
That's a good show.
yeah, and then Netflix dropped Dexter, and me and my wife were in the middle of watching it. We would watch like a season, take a break, watch a season, take a break, and we had done the first 2 seasons. We went to go to Netflix to watch it, couldn't fucking find it, and she's like, "Well, I guess we can't finish it." And then 30 seconds later, I found it on Amazon Prime. I was like, "Nope, it's right here." They just switched to their contracts.
I
So
was gonna
we've
say,
been watching, yeah,
who owns it? Is it Stars?
Showtime.
Showtime.
Yeah. So we've been watching. We watched season 3 of Dexter last week, and we started season 4 this week because I told her season 4 is the best fucking season. If you haven't watched it,
Oh,
it is the best season. So
so that will be going to Paramount eventually, since that's owned by CBS.
okay, so Paramount is what streaming service?
Paramount Plus.
Par-
They
that
got real lazy. I know John has an issue with Peacock, but at least it's an original name.
it's a little more creative than just their name and then plus.
Plus.
Yeah, like even like CBS All Access was still a little better than just CBS Plus, but now they're going and turning it to uh
Paramount.
Paramount Plus, yeah.
Yeah.
And then but then they're gonna open it up because right now you can get so much shit on there, dude. So much stuff. I'm waiting for the streaming service that's gonna offer me Hercules and Xena again because it used to be on Netflix and now I can't find it anywhere. Um, with Lucy Lawless and Kevin Sorbo,
Good question.
one of the most loved and or hated people on Twitter right now, depending on who you are.
Looks like Universal has that, so it might be coming to Peacock. Who knows? That was
Universal.
a loud laugh.
Universal owns that because it was a
Yeah. Oh,
Fox
they have the
News, wasn't it?
distribution
Or was it
rights.
UPN? Or no, it was like fuck, I don't remember what the other one was.
Well, it was produced by Renaissance Pictures.
Yeah. Okay. It was a Sam Raimi joint too.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
Originals, anyways. I don't know how far along he stuck into it, but I know he's like producer or some bullshit on it for a long time.
Was it pre Bruce Campbell and everything, right? Or did Bruce Campbell appear on the show and I just don't
No, Bruce
remember?
Campbell was on that show. Yeah.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, he showed up on that both shows.
Those guys are
It
so
wasn't
such
pre
good friends.
him and Bruce Campbell have known each other since high school, dude.
Well,
So
I was wondering if there was a time before he had him in everything.
no, no, because they shot Evil Dead like phew, when they were super young, and they've been working together almost. Even if it's just a little cameo, like he had a cameo in each Spider-Man movie that Sam
Oh,
did.
oh, Renaissance Pictures, founded by Sam Raimi, Robert Taffert, and Bruce Campbell. So
There you go. Yeah,
in '79,
which
42
would have
years
been their
ago, I
company for the movie. That yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, awesome. Um, but no, that's basically been what I've been doing is just watching Dexter and Comic Book Men, and then uh, we're almost done with Animaniacs, the reboot season. We've been
We still
watching
got
like an
a few
episode.
episodes left, but it's so good
Yeah, we
for a
have
comeback show.
two episodes left of that season, and then when we're done with that, we're gonna go back and watch the original shit. If it's still on Hulu, if it's not, then I have the DVDs anyway, so we'll just watch the DVDs of Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain. Um,
With the removing content and stuff. You might be better off with the DVDs anyway.
yeah,
Streaming.
who knows what they're gonna do with that shit? Like, I went out to the pawn shop and bought a bunch of DVDs or and Blu-rays that I just couldn't find anywhere else, and I'm like, I'm gonna get these because I want to watch. You know, I guess I shouldn't say I'm gonna watch the original cut because even the Blu-rays edited some shit out. Like every time they would go through and edit stuff. If it was the first edition of the DVD and it was like made around DVD time, you might get lucky and have like the actual cut. So VHS is the way to go though if it's an older movie and you want the original.
Star Wars.
Star Wars for sure. But you gotta
EP.
get the right Star Wars VHS because they even went through and edited it when they did the box sets of the VHS tapes.
Oh, yeah, just don't get the gold box.
Which was what the widescreen version they tried to do, right?
That's the special edition.
Special edition. Okay, I had the black box of the three, and then my dad had all three originals before, like as they were dropping for the first releases.
I think it went black box, and then it did a blue box with half of Vader, and then the gold box, which is special edition, which is the other half of Vader, so you can push them together and get his face, which is the versions my mom had.
That sounds stupid. It's like, well, I'm gonna buy two different versions. Okay. Oh, I guess collectors will do so. I've
Yeah.
bought the same action figure a few times. So, so do you want to dive into WandaVision right now, or do you got some more stuff you want to chat about? I have literally no idea what's been going on in the world of entertainment or any in the world. Let's just say in the world.
See, the Roku deal went through a couple weeks ago with Quibi.
Yes. I did hear about that.
They got it for a steal.
Yeah, they did. And there's a show on there that the Russo brothers did, and Kevin Smith narrates it, and that's going on there. So I might have to use my kid's Roku to watch because we have only one Roku device in this house. Unless is Roku like have their own streaming service that you have to pay for, or how does
That I
that
don't. I
work?
didn't even know they had originals until this deal went through. So
Right.
I
I
thought
didn't
it was
even
just
know
a TV service.
yeah, yeah. I didn't know they had anything. I thought it was just, the device. And that was like to make a dumb TV a smart TV. So, I'm excited because I was listening to Kevin Smith talk about that show a while back, and it made me really want to watch it. So yeah, we'll see.
I just remembered I've also been finishing the final season of The Middle, and
Mhm.
I mean I loved Neil Flynn in Scrubs for his improv acting, but I don't think I've had watery eyes for a show as much as I do this game show. Like the emotional,
Yeah.
stuff they put out there, the family stuff. It's like, oh man, it hits you hard.
Did you finish it yet, or you said you
We
finished
have
it?
4 episodes.
All right. Spoilers. They all die. Um,
Well, that's just everything.
everything. Spoilers. Everything. Everybody all dies. There we go. That's just watch
We
every
got
show with thinking that they're all dead. They were ghosts the whole time. It was a dream sequence from the janitor.
Are you excited for the Saw reboot? I just heard about this last night, like
It's not
literally last night.
necessarily a reboot. We had talked about this on the show when it first dropped. Um, News of it first dropped before they even started shooting it.
Did
It's
we? Was I? Yeah,
Spiral, and it's with Chris Rock. It's Chris Rock's project, dude. Like
really?
he wanted to do a Saw movie, and
Oh
I
yeah,
think
and Sam Jackson.
I don't know if he directed it, but I think that he had a lot to do with it getting made, and of course he's in it too. So
Darren Bousman.
Darren Lynn Bousman,
Yeah,
yeah, he was the guy who started. He did the second one through the fourth or fifth one, I believe. Directed it. So
I
they
know
actually
nothing about these, so they're. I'm not into these type of torture films.
right. Um, I love the story aspect of it, the violent part of it. I could care less. I mean, it doesn't affect me either way, but the the story part of it is pretty cool. They recently did one called Jigsaw, which
Yeah, that
I
one looked actually caught my eye. And like I said,
that
I don't care about that
yeah,
usually.
it was completely different. I don't want to say tone shift because they're still killing in it, but like the aesthetic look of it was completely different than the rest of them. And it was really interesting to watch it. And I was actually satisfied with that one. I had sat down after I broke my leg a couple years ago and just watched all of them. Stupid movie to start watching is Saw after you break your ankle because then you're just like, cut it off, cut the fucking thing off.
It's what scary movie was it? 3 or 4?
What's that?
Scary movie 3 or 4, the intro with
Yeah,
Dr. Phil and
yeah. It was I think that's four.
I think you might be right. Yeah.
I stopped paying attention to the scary movies after like the Waynes dropped out of them. Um, so one and two were like the best ones for me, anyways. But no, Jigsaw was a pretty good one. I enjoyed it, and I feel that that movie, even if you haven't seen the other Saw movies, you might be a little confused. But if you know like what the world knows of like fucking Saw the character, even without watching the movies, then going into watching Jigsaw by itself, you could still be entertained, and it's doable, I feel, for a lot more people than going and watching the other Saw films. Um, there's not a whole lot to try and grasp uh with past films and all that stuff. So it's I recommend that one to people that have not even seen the Saw films, just because it was a pretty decent film by itself. And then this new one that's coming out, Spiral, with Chris Rock, this is supposed to take place in the same universe. It's not a reboot, as far as I
Like a
am.
soft reboot, maybe.
Oh, it's just supposed to take place in the universe, so they didn't really give a whole lot of detail. At least I didn't read into it because I just want to go and watch it and see what they're doing. But as far as I knew, like Chris Rock didn't want to reboot it; he just wanted to build upon the universe
Expand
of
it. Yeah.
Jigsaw. Yeah.
Okay.
So Spiral, I don't even know if it's going to be based on a Jigsaw type killer from the originals, or if it's just a new killer, you know, a new this one's just now called Spiral, or if the movie's called Spiral because they're spinning out into, you know, chaos. So who knows? um I watched the first trailer for it when it dropped. It looked pretty interesting, and it's nice to see Chris Rock doing a bunch of fun stuff that's not an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. So
You
I have
forget
a
you forget he can actually act until you actually watch him outside of an Adam Sandler movie.
yeah, yeah. He's real good.
Yeah,
And a great comedian. Holy crap.
yeah, yeah. I love his stand up. I don't care what people say. If people think he's raunchy or not, or like offensive, who fuck cares?
A lot
He's a
of his
comedian.
projects are
Comedians are supposed to be offensive ish. They're supposed to make you laugh.
Everyone Hates Chris is easily one of my top favorite comedies.
I never watched that show because he
Oh,
narrates that, correct?
it's supposed to be loosely based on his childhood.
Yeah,
Obviously, kind of a hyperbole of it, but
yeah, yeah. I saw the kid that they got to play him in that looked like he could have been him, you know. So he
we
was
saw him in. He appeared in Key and Peele, and they did a little segment about what's the Family Matter,
mhm, yeah.
and who's that? I'm drawing a blank, but who's that kid that joined that cast? The show basically became about him. Urkel. He
Okay,
was
yeah.
Urkel.
Yeah.
So he showed up as Urkel as the dad. They had the dad from there. And he's like, "Can we get rid of him? You want to get rid of me?" Oh, it's such a good. Uh,
But anyways, I cut you off, dude.
oh no, I was just gonna. You want to know a little embarrassing fact about how I try and remember all this shit that I hear?
Mhm.
Uh, this is gonna be for visual people, but for audio, I write stuff down on these little note cards, or not note cards, sticky pads,
Mhm.
and bring them home. One day, I lost one of these, and I came into work, and it was sitting on the table where we normally have a bunch of cards for people to sign happy birthdays. The only three things on it was Brendan Fraser whale, Harrison Ford is Indy, and Tom Cruise the hamster. So I'm sure someone was so confused by what the.
I mean, at least it doesn't look like my notes, because then someone probably would have called the police. Oh, it was funny. We were watching one of the episodes of Dexter, and they're like he's like, it's an episode where he's like semi teaching somebody else how I'm trying not to spoil it, but he's semi teaching somebody else how to commit the crimes that he does, or or do what he does. And they're going through the store and shit like that, and he's like, why do you need to buy this and this? Like, what are we gonna use that for? And he's like, well, we can't just show up and buy, you know, a bunch of shovels and dirt bag or bags and shit like that. You know, you gotta make it a little less conspicuous. And Nikki looked at me and she's like, you know, you go, because we've like laughed at my receipts before going to the hardware store. I've literally gone to the hardware store, bought the big sheets of plastic wrap that you would use for like painting and stuff,
Yeah.
lime, dirt, cement, and shovels and machetes. All in just one thing, without like random little bits and pieces of other crap. And she's like, dude, people ever look at you like you're fucking crazy? I was like, I don't know or care. Yeah. So hopefully if something does happen in the town that I live in, they don't go through and start looking at people's like purchasing habits, cuz I would be like public enemy number 1.
Actually reminds me of a D&D story I heard. It's these players decided to boycott their the dungeon master
Hmm.
by slowly purchasing digging equipment over the course of many months, and then just deciding to stop doing whatever story he was telling and build their own dungeon. He was so pissed.
Oh shit.
So, you want to
So
get into WandaVision before we lose people?
yeah, but first of all, I'll give you a heads up.
Oh yeah.
Write notes in notes on your phone.
Oh, I do, but I can't have my phone out, so I
Oh,
transfer it
at
to
work and
that.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into WandaVision. We're half an hour in. Let's not lose any more listeners by being stupid and boring and dumb. All right. So we watched WandaVision season 1, episode 3, where we take place in a why is my computer trying to verify a backup and sync? What's it trying to sync? What the fuck? Sorry.
Having problems processing this. Yeah.
Okay. It's trying to like back up something and there's nothing plugged into my computer to back up. Okay. Anyways, um so episode takes place in the 60s, and you were intrigued by the intro. I remember you texted me cuz you watched this like a day before I did. Um and
Yeah.
the, what's that?
Yeah. Because I got some Brady Bunch vibes off of it, but I felt like it was way too soon for that.
Yeah. It was Brady Bunch, and bro, I don't know what the other one felt like cuz it didn't feel 100% Brady to me. I felt like that would have been something they should have done more when the kids were a little bigger, you know.
Yeah, and I guess it did start in '69, but
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I think next episode jumps to the 70s, so they
yeah.
want to just knock it out of the way. The most popular of the popular shows. So, um but that's just a stupid little critique. But yeah, it was definitely Brady Bunch, and it was Brady Bunch with two people and no kids. So they do their thing. And this episode, how long was this episode? 30 minutes or 40 something? It felt a little bit longer than the other two did to get up by themselves. So I'm not sure. I didn't pay
Um,
attention to runtime.
yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
25 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, with the credits and stuff, it's a total of 33, which is 4 minutes shorter than the last
Right.
one. But yeah, no, it didn't feel 25 minutes. A
Okay.
lot happens in this one,
Oh,
like very
the
early.
Mary Tyler Moore intro was also mixed in with um
That's what it was.
the Brady Bunch. That was the the credit scroll thing that they tried to
Mhm.
do. Yeah. So, I love the fact that I kind of like hated myself at the same time. As soon as they jump into their living room, I'm like, dude, that's fucking Brady's living room. Like the staircase and that's the Brady. But then again, you can't just be like, well, it's a 60s house, so but that's a Brady Bunch living room. Like I was looking for the stupid statue in the background even. But they even had like it was like the Brady living room, but like ooh shit, reversed. So, yeah.
I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah. It was really cool. I enjoyed it until the end, and then I was just like, well, fuck. But let's
I
not jump to the end right away. Let's let's dive on some of
Without
these things.
revealing the end before we get too far into this, if people want to skip ahead, I don't know why you would, but if you do, I really love how they reveal just enough of the the mystery to give you more questions than answers.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it's fucking with my head, dude. Because then I'm starting to think of other things, and then I'm like, well, fuck, I want what I want to see now, not what they want to give me. But then I'm like, well, just give me what you're gonna give me, and I'll just live with what I think.
which
Um,
should we say what they confirmed the timeline placement this week, or
yeah, they finally confirmed. Who was it that confirmed it? Was it
it's the girl that plays Gabriel in this. I'm not
okay?
gonna say too much about her character because there's still,
Yeah, there's still stuff hidden about it. I don't
uh,
remember the actress's name offhand. I suck at actors and actresses' names unless they've been around for a long time, and even then, some of them I still forget.
maybe it
But
wasn't Gabriel.
it's the girl who plays her friend in the show, or semi friend, I guess. The new girl that moved to the neighborhood. I forget her name now. Damn it.
Uh, nope, they got her a different name there. The actress's name.
Tayana Paris.
Yeah, that's her real name.
Yeah. Well, we'll say that because they do have her credited as who she's supposed to be. Geraldine is who she plays in the
Geraldine. I knew it
sitcom show.
started. Yeah.
Yeah. So Geraldine is in there.
Oh,
I don't want to look at the cast because I know there's going to be some secrets popping
yeah.
up.
No, everyone avoid that. I did. I made that mistake last week. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So she revealed that this does take place not long after the end of Endgame.
Right. So fuck my theory from last week and fuck Marvel then, I guess, because screw you guys.
It
Don't
was
tell
a
us when these
good
things are
plan.
gonna take over. uh I just wish they would stop telling us when things take place and just let the stuff happen. You know,
Yeah.
we're
Maybe wait till
clearly
it's
gonna
done.
figure out if it's gonna be after Endgame or not. Like, come on, we're not retarded.
Yeah.
Plus, it has to be after Endgame or before Infinity War because Wanda's gone in Endgame anyways. So until the very end, so it makes sense. Dumbasses.
Yeah. I'm curious what her last 5 years was like, but I'm sure we'll get into that maybe in the show. Who knows?
Well, her last 5 years were gone. She was just wiped out of existence. She was snapped away.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
yeah. That's why she comes back full force and like beats the fuck out of Thanos. Thanos.
I don't know who you are. Why? Thank you.
Right. Because it's they proved right then and there that she's like one of the most powerful beings, but also superhuman still at the same time.
Mhm.
Because any like she could get shot and she's dead, you know.
Yeah.
But she's also can like destroy the entire planet if she wanted to.
Oh yeah, they're terrified of her in the comics.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she literally snapped the entire mutants out of existence in the comics. So, well,
Yeah.
not snapped, but just said it. She didn't
Yeah.
need a fucking gauntlet, Thanos. Haha.
I'd like to see her and Phoenix Force go at it. That'd be interesting. Oh god, if she gets the Phoenix Force. Nerd stuff.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Anyways, um, so yeah, no, this episode they it dives around her being pregnant because we find out she's pregnant at the end of the last episode, correct?
Yep.
And
Yep.
then so we're seeing the doctor there. The doctor's doing all his doctory shit. Um and she kind of does like the whole fucking like possessed pregnancy thing and just starts, you know, ballooning up and is having a baby in like a day
Yeah.
or so.
The doctor shows up. He's like, "Yeah, you're 6 months along."
Right,
Vision does some math. He's like, "That means you're gonna have it by Friday, maybe."
right. Well, no, that's after she balloons up, and then he's like, "Well, you're gonna have it by Friday." It's like 5 days or some shit like that,
which turns out not true.
right? Which makes him fallible, which makes you question: is he really Vision? Because he wouldn't get that wrong. Um, and then you have this awkward scene outside with
Yeah,
no, it's she ends up going into labor.
not she has a contraction, early contractions, which
Oh,
that
knock the power
happens.
out to the entire
Yeah,
neighborhood. Yeah, yeah.
among other things that happen.
Which, like, her facial expressions in this episode. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
they're all over Twitter.
Yes, they are. Like, oh, okay. Anyways, we won't
So
dive into that.
Vision goes outside to see, well, I forget why he goes outside. Honestly, he just goes out front and he sees his neighbor Herb, whatever his name is. He's cutting a bush, and he doesn't stop once the bush is done. He goes through the concrete wall. And my first thought was, well, that thing's fucked.
Was that no? That was after the kids were born.
Oh,
Spoilers.
it was before. Because then he goes outside again to go get the doctor because she's giving birth,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
other neighbor lady's there.
And he does his like flash running across town, and
Yeah,
then stops right in front. No one's questioning how this guy is moving this fucking fast ever in this
yeah,
show.
that's one thing I noticed is that he openly uses some of his powers, and no one bats an eye. He's
Yeah,
clearly visible. He's not hiding it.
yeah. It because he grabs the doctor and right in front of her wife or his wife. So it's not like he can use like some mind powers to like erase the guy's memory or some shit unless he's erasing everybody's memory.
Oh, we missed something though. After he sees that guy cut through his concrete wall, he goes inside and starts questioning reality, and then all of a sudden the like film cuts and restarts again,
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
forgets all about it.
yeah. Which was interesting. That was a interesting decision on them, their the editor's side. Um Confused the fuck out of me for a second. I was like, what? What happened? What did I do on the TV? Like, okay.
Yeah, I thought something went wrong too. I thought it skipped. I'm like, it's digital.
Right. And then they come back and then they go through the whole motion again and he just doesn't question anything. And what was he questioning? I'm trying to remember exactly. Like, oh,
He,
something's not right here. That's
yeah,
what it was. He was just saying there's something that isn't right here.
which this is the second time that she doesn't do anything this time, but I think it was Wanda resetting things again, like she did with the beekeeper. The
Yeah.
whole no.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the motions. Again, I only watched this episode once. I should have rewatched it before. Fucking hell.
I only ever watch them once.
I'm gonna have to rewatch them before we talk about episode 4 when episode 4 drops. Cause that drops when this drops. So cool. Um,
Yeah,
and then so then we get that he gets the doctor. We come back. We're back at the house with the doctor because she's going into labor. Uh, oh no, when she's going into labor, her friend comes by. Is when
yeah.
she goes into
What was her
labor.
name?
Geraldine.
Geraldine. Why do I keep wanting to think? Uh,
You want to
Geraldine.
say, you want to say her real name. Um, but
No, that's not
Geraldine.
even close.
Oh, okay. Geraldine stops by and she starts having contractions and then she starts doing like some of the bewitched shit starts happening again, which is awesome.
Oh,
Uh,
before that, her water breaks and it like floods every house in the neighborhood. Apparently,
yeah, yeah.
'Cause that's why her friend stops over. Is man, the weirdest of all the pipes on our roof burst.
And she came to get a bucket. That's what it was.
Yes. And there's a funny gag where Wanda doesn't want anyone to know she's pregnant, so she puts a gigantic coat on, and the contractions keep changing the coat.
Yeah. Um, the contractions changed coat, and then she's like in this a nice little what was it? It was a fur coat. And she's like, ooh.
It
So I wonder
raincoat.
how pissed PETA is for that one.
Mhm.
The, I guarantee you Disney didn't think that one like, oh fuck, PETA's gonna be on us because she liked this coat.
Well, it was in fashion back then too. I just think it might be another, era choice.
Yeah. But the character itself, we all know, isn't supposed to be in that time period. So
She's also really weird.
what's that?
I said she's also really weird. So who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so that happens, and then we get into the contraction part, and then we realize that she's having the fucking baby.
Mhm.
And Geraldine is the only one there to do so. After she finds out she's pregnant, which she's like, "You're pregnant?" And then she's just like, "Okay, you're pregnant. I didn't know. We've been friends. I've only known you for a few months, a few weeks, maybe. They don't really give a time frame between the last episode and this episode, and yeah. So she gives birth. More facial expressions for Twitter.
The house is going crazy, like stuff on the wall spinning.
And there's no
She's
questioning any of this either.
Yeah,
Just
no,
like,
she's looking around like, oh, this is normal. This is perfectly natural.
there has to be an explanation for all of this. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. So yeah, then she gives birth, and then
Vision shows up with the doctor, and he's like, oh, I guess you're not needed.
but then she has the second baby. They
Yeah.
find out she has
After
twins.
the doctor and her friend, who, why am I so bad with names? They go into the kitchen away from them, so Vision's able to become, change his face, look at his baby, and then the second one starts, and it's just chaos after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, then she has the two babies. The doctor leaves. He says to Vision something about he's supposed to be going on vacation to the Bahamas or something, and he's like he can't get his car to start. And he's like, well, there's just no escaping these small towns.
Right. Yeah. Which fucking Truman Show, dude. Like you just can't escape it.
And that's when he sees Herb talking to the other neighbor girl.
Yes. I forget her name from the first two episodes. Because the first two episodes she was like prominent, and then this episode she's not. Like they just like booted her backwards
Is it
for
Agnes
Geraldine to take over. Is
or
it what?
Darce? Agnes or
It is
don't look.
Agnes. Yes. Yeah. So Agnes is outside with the other dude,
Herb,
Herb.
the only one I can remember because it's
Vision walks out.
took
Wow,
me.
this is really boring. Um, this is why I don't do breakdowns. Vision walks out, and then they go and they're talking, and then I don't recall what Vision says exactly that gets him to be like, well, Vision, we can't, basically trying to tell him what's
Oh,
going on
they
without telling him.
they ask him if the new girl is in the house and how she doesn't have a home.
Yeah,
He's like, well, why doesn't she have a home? And they're like,
yeah, yeah. And then Agnes is trying to tell the other guy to shut the fuck up, basically.
he
And
does a couple of innuendos and then just,
yeah,
fucks off.
yeah. And then she's like, all right, well, blah, blah, blah. And then she dips. And then he's like, all right, bye. And goes back to their sitcom style, like stuff.
Mhm.
So that one confused me because I really want to know what
They
they
were,
know,
yeah,
because I was under the assumption that nobody knew anything, from the first two
yeah.
episodes. So clearly there's more to it than
At the same time that that's going on, inside the house, we see Wanda and her friend talking, and we get her accent back and a mention of her brother Pietro. And she
Yeah.
starts singing in Sokovian and stuff. And then her friend mentions Ultron, and Wanda wigs out.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh yeah, he died. Ultron killed him or some shit." Which Ultron didn't. Well, I guess Ultron technically did because they were
Yeah,
Ultron
Ultron
bots.
sentries.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give them that. I guess they paid attention to their franchise.
Which I recently found out the forget what movie it is, but when Hawkeye's showing Black Widow his new baby, he's got the name, and the middle name is Pietro, and the first name is Nathaniel for Natasha. So he
Yeah.
named the baby after two, people
Yeah.
were influential in his life. I never noticed that.
Yeah. He that was like the big thing. He named it after the guy who basically saved his life,
Mhm.
and and then his girl, Natasha Romanoff, who doesn't have an accent.
But that's okay.
Start those wounds again. Um, yeah. So she's in there. She's talking. She brings that up. Wanda wigs the fuck out,
Mhm.
and she's like, "What did you say?" And, and she makes up some stupid.
Yeah, she keeps avoiding the question.
Yeah. And then you see plain as day her fucking necklace. Like, why are you wearing that necklace? Um, in that world or universe or whatever this is supposed to be,
Mhm.
like you clearly have on period style clothes. So why do you have this necklace on? So she has on the emblem of. Uh, I mean, people fucking
It's
know.
a sword with a circle. It was on the book at the end of episode one and the helicopter in episode
Yeah.
two. So it's a recurring, which we didn't even talk about the commercial this time, but we'll get to.
It was also on the monitors when they pulled out in the first episode, I believe.
Well, I know it was on the book, but I didn't see the monitor, but I can believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, which everyone knows what that symbol is by now. They have to. If not, I'm gonna spoil it. It's for sword, like legit sword. Which, if people don't know, that is supposedly what Nick Fury was doing at the end of Spider-Man: Far From Home
Yep,
on the ship in space.
the scroll shit.
Yeah. Forming sword or whatnot, which would really be cool because we don't have Shield anymore on TV. And then Shield is kind of
Bring
dismantled,
back Coulson with Agents of Sword.
right? I haven't watched this last season, so shh. Um,
I haven't watched. I still have the finale, so
okay. Well, I know they basically did what they did to Picard and just made Olsen a fucking robot. That's
yeah,
all.
that was a couple seasons ago.
Yeah. No, that was the last. It was like the end
Oh
of
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
last, the season before the last is when
yeah.
they show him.
They keep finding these contrived ways to bring him back.
Right.
Alternate dimensions, clones.
Well, the one season wasn't even him. It was a
Yeah.
whole different character,
Mm-hmm.
which they could just knocked him out and then been like, "Oh, well, we're gonna pull Coulson's consciousness into your body," and then boom.
It would have been dark, but acceptable.
Well, I mean, you want to know dark in the comics? Wanda tries to bring Vision back and accidentally summons a demon spirit into his body, and then he's out killing people.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would love to see that. Marvel isn't gonna do that. Unless that's part of the multiverse of madness. Let's see.
yeah.
Um, oh, that would be nice if Vision was the bad guy in that, because everyone thinks Wanda's going to be the bad person in it. That's like the rumor or whatever that's going around.
I kind of feel like she's the bad person in this, but that's my theory.
I feel like she's the bad person all the time from how they treat her. um, they just know she's too overpowered. Like she's OP, and yeah.
Yeah, but
Anyways, but yes, it
so
is sword that's there, and then Wanda's
so
just like telling her to get the fuck out, basically.
and then the whole conversation with Vision and these two. He runs inside, and her friend is just gone. We don't see her leave or anything. And he's like, where'd she go? She's like, oh, she went home.
Oh no, she said she had to go in a hurry or some shit, didn't she? Or
Yeah,
she
something like
like
that.
took off or something. Um, and then we get this really awesome
Yeah, the
look.
last scene.
Well, no, we get the awesome
Oh,
look on her face because she doesn't turn around and talk to Vision in
mhm.
the last scene that we see them together.
Oh, that smirk.
And she gets this like fucking evil smirk on her face, and I just loved it. And then we're like pulling out just a little bit, and then as we do that, we get the wide screen coming on, and then shit's gonna happen.
Hmm. We
And
get
then they shoot to
it's like some
park.
field. Yeah, something
Like
like that. It's nighttime.
I want to say it was a baseball field, but it wasn't.
That's what it
They just
kind
had
of looked like.
the lights set up like a baseball field, but it was basically to light up the section that they're watching. Um, but you just see like this portal, kind of semi portal thing, like whoosh, like
Like
Stargate
sliders.
sliders, Stargate, whatever, and just a body comes out and falls on the ground and shit, and she's still in her 70s or 60s
Yeah.
clothes too.
Yeah, it's her friend. She lands on the ground and then gets immediately swarmed by people with guns.
Right. And then we end there. So it's
Well, we zoom out, and in the background, we see the lights are facing something, and it's like shimmering, and then it cuts.
yeah. You can see there's like something on the plane, not a plane, but the plane of existence. There's something there that shouldn't necessarily be there. Ooh, my hands are like green
Yeah,
screen.
you got an outline now.
Hey. Um, and then we end it right there
Hmm.
with us like what the fuck's going on? What's happening? What
Oh yeah.
who are these people? Are these people that swarmed her sword? Are these people that swarmed her government officials? Are they bad guys or good
Are they
guys?
Hydra? Because again, the
Could
commercial,
be
this one,
Hydra.
once again, another Hydra product. What was it, for soap or something?
Well, you gotta think too. Like the first one was Stark's um
Radio or no toaster?
video toaster. Yes, sorry, toaster, where he makes the noise. What did she always say? Like her and her brother were under their bed, fearing for their lives from Stark's missile.
You know
And
what? I
then,
was just thinking that with the Hydra, because they were in Hydra for
well,
testing and
when
stuff.
then you got the Strucker. Is it Strucker?
Strucker watch or whatever.
Strucker watch. He's the one that basically made her brother and her with powers too. And then you have the Hydra one here, which Hydra was in control of all that shit too. So it's like, all right, so what's the next one? That's gonna get me like excited to see what the next commercial is. Because the
Yeah.
Strucker watch wasn't necessarily, it was a Hydra watch, but it was a Strucker watch with a Hydra symbol on it. So to see what was it was Hydra soap. It was it was, I forget what they called it. Hydra suds or some shit like that.
uh, Hydra soak,
Hydra soak, yes. Okay.
luxury bath powder.
Yes. Which that kind of made me want to take a bath right then there. Yeah, it's right here. Hydra soak.
Yeah, it's
Which is I'm actually reading this thing here. Uh it's a reference to Coulson mentions mind controlling soap in Agents of Shield. I would have figured it out a long time ago if it wasn't
oh,
for the mind control soap, that blue soap everyone uses. And it was a blue thing. Hydra loads it up with chemicals. It seeps into our
wow.
bloodstream and plants false memories into our brain. They want us to believe this is a magical place. Boom. Oh fuck. That
Oh, does that mean they're gonna redo her origin? They plant memories.
yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
Okay, that is layers upon layers right there.
And that's from Agents of Shield where Coulson said
Mhm.
that. So,
See, agents matters.
I oh shit. Yeah, there's so much they could do. Well, now the fact I'm glad that they did bring up her brother, though. I was really happy to hear her brother's name brought up.
And her
Especially
accent.
and her accent. Yes. You actually get the accent there again. Um I wonder if they bring that actor in or not. Again, I'm not looking at IMDb because I
Nope.
want if they do bring him in, I want it to be a surprise for myself. I don't watch any of the trailers anymore for these shows. I watched the very first one for this, and that's all I needed just to be like, all right,
Yeah.
sold. And that was basically just the quick flashes of them going through the times.
What is your current theory?
There's so many, man. So many. I still don't know if she's the one doing it or if someone else is doing it, but she's taking control of it because they're trying to fuck with her with
That's a
uh
good point.
using vision, but she might have realized they were doing that and now has taken control of the experiment. There's that possibility. Or she really was pregnant because her and Vision were hooking up before Infinity War happened, before both she got
Which
snapped away and
I actually have a funny thing about that right
okay.
after you finish your thought.
I was gonna say because he gets killed in Infinity War, she gets snapped away. She could have been got pregnant from that before that. My other theory I think I shared with you too was what if all of the women that were pregnant that got snapped away and then re-snapped back into existence with a different gauntlet or different stones, what if those babies are the first generation mutants that we get, first gen mutants? Which would be cool. It would piss a lot of fans off because they'd want like Wolverine and Cyclops and all the basic guys and to have history with them. But I'm like, well, it is its own rendition of a comic, basically. The
Mhm.
MCU is its own version, so do something different with it.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the Easter eggs, but it's also nice to not know exactly what's going to happen or what the character's going to be like 100%. So,
Oh yeah. That's why whenever anyone gets upset that they take a comic title like say Civil War or Age of Ultron and then they do something completely different than what was done in those storylines, I'm like, well, I don't want those storylines
well, they
though.
couldn't do Civil War the right way, anyways, without
Yeah.
mutants. So, it wouldn't have fucking mattered.
So I saw this article on Comic Book Movie literally before, like today, before we started recording.
Mhm.
It's Paul Bettany. Bettany. Here's a quote for people for how they were able to possibly have a baby.
Okay.
I know that this is the quote. I know that Josh Whedon apparently really wanted the rendition of him when Vision first is born. Before he has any clothes or was clothed, he was like, he's got to have a penis. And everyone, Kevin and Lewis, I mean, everyone was like, I don't know, Josh. I mean, I'm not so sure.
Joss.
Josh, thank you. He has to have a penis. I want to see some drawings of penises. So they actually, somewhere in the rendition of Vision's birth with these penises, uh, and they put them all up on a wall. And then they went in, they sat down, and Joss went, yeah, I was 100% wrong. I don't need to see any of these.
Well, here's how Vision can have a penis. Flat out. We saw him make a cape just appear out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
He can just make a penis and make it as big as he wants. He is basically Dr. Manhattan in this universe. Like he could probably like force project multiple copies of himself and just like fuck every orifice on her body if he wanted to. Yeah.
I didn't mean
Picture
for the
that.
conversation to go this route.
Picture that. Vision in every hole.
I think it's funny that Whedon wanted him to be anatomically correct,
Mhm.
and then saw it and was like, "Yeah, no, let's not."
Well, also think about this too is like, yeah, like okay, they're supposed to have the kids together, the twins,
Mhm.
Tommy and Billy. or Billy and Tommy, however you want to say it. Um,
Thomas
which
and William.
which one is Wiccan, and I forget what the other one. Does he become a super?
Speed, I think is his name.
Is it? I know Wiccan is the one who is gay in the comics.
Yeah.
Um, which
Speed.
if Marvel doesn't like utilize that right now, like they're just fucking stupid. They already have it here. The character's born now into the universe. Do some time jumping shit, or maybe she speeds up their birthing process. Or their
Yeah.
aging process in her universe, and then they can come out that way. Especially if they're gonna try and do these young Avenger thing that they were talking about.
They seem like I don't think they've talked about it, but it really looks like they're moving that direction.
Well, yeah, because you got like the girl that in Hawkeye show, because he's gonna be training his daughter.
Yeah. Hawkeye 2,
Yeah.
She-Hulk, which isn't necessarily a young Avenger, but they could have the actress is pretty young.
Yeah, and then you got Spider-Man still. He can play young still. Um,
Mm.
you have Ant-Man's daughter is gonna be
Yeah, yeah.
there, which they recast her from the Endgame.
Endgame.
I don't remember who they recast her with, but and then you have fucking hell. There's so many younger people in there, and then you have Groot and Rocket who can just be there whenever. You don't, you know, those two never have. If they're smart, they will never
Yeah,
kill those
that's true.
characters off. Like
Groot is still young.
Groot is pretty young, yeah. But I'm just saying,
Uh,
in general, like your CG characters, don't kill them off. Why would you be that crazy? Those are characters you can utilize forever, you know. So
if they do go the rumored Kang the Conqueror route, there's the very convoluted and confusing Iron Lad. Who,
yeah.
good luck researching him, people.
um. All right. So where are we on now? WandaVision, Vision, Wanda.
Yeah, we were given our theories, and I think for myself, I'm leaning towards he, out of grief, lost control of her powers and sucked a bunch of people in with her,
Yeah.
and that's where I'm currently at. So,
I know there's rumors of Agnes's character doing something or being something. I don't know.
I haven't looked it up.
I'm not going to look it up. Oh, it appears that the vehicles that did pick up Geraldine were sword
Mhm.
vehicles, sword logo on there. And people don't know sword was actually supposed to be like the space version of shield. Like they were the first line of defense, basically, as Tony Stark would say it. Instead of a shield around the world, they were the sword. They were the guardian of said Earth.
I mostly know them from the British side of Marvel with
Mhm.
Captain Britain and all them. They're pretty heavily involved with that side
Yeah,
at
Captain Britain
Excalibur.
movie. I would love a Captain Britain movie.
Mhm. They reference him in Endgame.
Except if we do it in Marvel fashion, Captain Britain has to be an American. You have to cast an American to be Captain Britain because all of our damn American superheroes are British actors.
I would love to see the British, like, give me Union Jack, give me Captain Britain, give me all of that.
I wonder if we
Uh,
see some of those in Winter
Eliza
Soldier.
Blood or whatever her name is.
In
What's
the
that?
if we see some of those in Falcon Winter Soldier.
Maybe. Oh man, if they set up an Excalibur
I don't know
team,
if
I
they'll
mean,
do
you need
Excalibur.
mutants, but
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to Sentient Weapon Observation and Response Division is what SWORD stands for. Um and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they move this
do they
along.
reference them without the acronym at first, like they did with Shield, just
Probably
as
not.
a
Probably
callback?
not. No, no. They did that with Shield just to have a little gasp, you know, and they're not that creative anymore. I shouldn't say that because this show is
You
actually
never know.
kind of
Kevin
funny.
Feige, I said his name wrong. I know. Feige is there working on Star Wars. He could be like, hey, if
He's
you
not
were to
working
do
on
this,
Star Wars, is he?
Mandalorian.
That's not Kevin Feige.
No, not Kevin Feige. Oh my God.
Kevin
Happy Hogan, help me out here.
after us, John Favreau.
Yeah, John Favreau. Oh man, I'm gonna get a lot of hate. John
Wow. No.
Yeah,
I think they were talking about trying to move like a Feige type to Star Wars. I
they
don't care
need it.
who's running Star Wars, people. I truly don't.
Dave Filoni. That's my vote.
I don't give a fuck. I'm over it already. Like, you know, all the time people complain about it. It sounds very sexist in the way they complain about it. Not the fact that they complain about what's her name? Kathleen Kennedy?
Yeah,
Like
which
it's
I'd like to point out, she has been there to greenlight everything, the good and the bad. So
yeah. But to me, I'm like, okay, you can complain about her. I don't care, but the way that a lot of them do, it comes off very sexist. They might not mean it to be, but it comes off that way, just
and
because of the way that the verbiage, I guess, is the verbiage that they say.
and a lot of people, I guess, don't even realize she's been with Lucasfilm since Indiana Jones.
Yeah, yeah, because he was like, she was the one that George was like, "Hey, take care of my baby," basically.
Yeah,
So I don't know if she did, but I mean, the thing is too, and I tell everybody, it's like Disney can do a fucking Star Wars movie. They did Rogue One, and Rogue One was awesome. Don't fucking tell
Solo
me that
was
they can't
fun.
do it. They just wanted to try and capitalize on the Skywalker era story still. And
I mean, I
and
don't
I
think there's a fan out there that won't acknowledge that mistakes were made with this trilogy, but that doesn't necessarily mean the entire Disney era has been terrible.
Han Solo is a dumb movie, but it's fine.
It's definitely more of Disneyfied than the others. I'll give it that, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. It is
It's
the one I've rewatched the most.
the only thing the I will watch the Han Solo film more than the new trilogy, uh, because I enjoy the talent in that movie. And then I will watch Rogue One because I know I don't have to look forward to another fucking movie after it,
But a prequel series,
and they can suck a dick with that shit. They're gonna ruin it if they do that. Like, oh,
yeah, they are, dude.
I wonder if they're gonna bring in all the characters again or not. I feel when you do the prequel series like that, and even with Mandalorian, they're gonna run into the fact that are they going to bring in oh, what's his name? They had him in Rogue One, uh, as the one character from the Empire that got killed. Uh, he plays Talos. Oh, fucking hell! In Captain Marvel. Um, no, what is his
The
name?
Australian, right? Ben Mendelsohn.
Ben Middleton. Yes, thank you. I wonder if they'll bring him into any of this stuff because, well, I guess not in Mandalorian. He wouldn't be because
Yeah,
he'd
he's
be
kind
dead
of dead.
already. But if they're doing a prequel to Rogue One,
But that hasn't stopped them, honestly, before. So
yeah. I mean, look at Darth Maul. He showed up in Han Solo.
the Emperor.
Which as soon as they did that, you could tell they were going after the cartoons. Like they were taking all that shit from the
The
cartoons.
synergy. I don't listen to John, people. The Clone Wars is an amazing series. I have never seen. And don't worry about it being kidified because I've never seen a kids show where they literally burn a Genosian alive on screen, not with the flame pointing down and see the arms flame. No, you literally see the thing burn alive. So it's you know,
I didn't think which one was that?
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, and then there
That
was
one is
Rebels,
way more
right?
brutal than Rebels. Yep. And then there's another one that is even more hitified, but it's somewhat enjoyable with BB-8. It's like set before uh, Force Awakens. I forget its name.
Oh, I don't remember the name of those. I never watched any of the cartoons. I've seen like pieces of them just like on YouTube or some shit if I wanted to check something out. Cuz like when Darth Maul came back, I was like, "What where the fuck did he come from?" Like he was killed. He was split into two. You can't live like that. But I guess if it's a lightsaber, it does cauterize your shit, so but yeah.
The way they bring him back is pretty awesome too. Like he's been living underneath in the sewers of Naboo for
Yeah.
years, and he's like kind of gone feral.
Yeah. I find it funny though that Disney is bringing back all the people that were dead and then they're killing off everybody that was still alive. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why? Like, I think that's what pissed off a lot of people, and of course, like how they handle some of the characters and shit like that in the new trilogy. I, for one, actually enjoyed out of the new trilogy. I enjoyed what was it? The Last Jedi? Was that the
The
second one?
middle one,
Yeah.
yeah.
I actually enjoyed that one. And I know I'll get hate for that from some,
Not as
but
much. It seems like the majority of fans have kind of cooled on it as they're like, it's not the best, but it's not
yeah,
kind of like the prequel movies. They're like, it's not as bad as we originally
yeah,
thought,
yeah,
and that's kind of how I feel. It's like it's all right. It exists.
yeah. I don't know. I've always been that person who's always said, "Can we just get away from the Skywalkers? If we're using the universe, get away from them." And then what did they fucking do in Mandalorian? They brought in the Skywalker. God damn.
But it was an awesome thing.
And then people are out there talking about how they're going to do a Luke Skywalker Grogu, which is Baby Yoda for people that don't know, fucking show. I'm like,
That
how
would be
are they gonna do that? Like, you think they're gonna
so
spend that much
expensive.
money? That would cost a fortune for them
I
to
get
do.
if the demand is high enough, maybe, but I mean, it's not on their slate of projected stuff, and the stuff they gave us is going to be quite a number of years to make. So,
Do it. If you do that, this is my pitch for that show. If you do Grogu uh Luke Skywalker show, because they want to capitalize on the Grogu merch is the only reason I could see that being the reason. Do the show one season as baby Grogu still. Next season after that, 10 years later, 15 years later, blah 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 to build up to seeing Luke
mhm.
deteriorate into old grumpy man Luke if they're going to try and keep it going into the new trilogy.
Yeah,
So make it like an anthology series where it's like every season is 10-year gap between each other. That way you get to see Grogu grow up, Luke grow up, find out what happens to Grogu. Does he get killed? We don't know. Probably because they say they kill all the Jedi. So
yeah, it's like like a 17 or something year gap, but so I can see them doing a
more
time
than
jump with
17-year
Mandalorian.
gap.
What's that?
That's more than a 17-year gap from like a
Well,
Mando timeline
let's see.
to
Mando is like 6 years after
5.
Return. I think it's six.
They said 5.
Oh, okay. Well,
5
and then
might be
The
6.
Force Awakens is 30 years, and then that's 2 years before that the Academy gets destroyed. So 28 years. So what? 28 minus 13 years.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
so I
It
think they'll
just
do a time jump, and then we'll go back to Mando. And
yeah.
going back to
Just
Marvel, though. Oh,
they
go ahead.
I was just gonna say they just introduced like this character that they realized is a cash cow, and but everyone's like, well, he's fucking dead in the future, so what does it matter? Like, what are you gonna give us of this character? And I feel sending him off with a Luke. I haven't watched this season, so I don't know if that's what's happening or if they're gonna bring him back on the Mando for season 3. I don't know. Um, but if that is the case of sending him off with Luke, one, they just lost their biggest merch sale right there to keep having on the show, and
And they
two,
filmed the first two seasons like back to
back to
back, didn't
back.
they?
Yeah, yeah.
So they really had no idea what they had.
Nope, nope. And then if we go into a Luke Grogu show, I'm like, that's gonna cost a fortune, and people are not gonna want it as much as they think they want it. People
Yeah,
wanted another trilogy, and then they didn't want it. So
I'm perfectly fine with that either being like a comic or maybe a series of young readers books. I don't. It's not something I
cartoon,
really care to watch.
turn it into a cartoon.
Oh yeah, they could. Well, again, it's not something I care to watch.
Right. I'm just saying that that seems more logical to do, especially budget wise, instead of trying to make there be a young CG Luke Skywalker the entire time. And then of course Mark
And
Hamill will do the voiceover work. He doesn't give a fuck, you know.
oh yeah, no, he loves doing voiceovers. Uh, I worry that he'll go a bit jokery, but
Right.
and they're always going to have the kid. The Mandalorian, I feel, is for the older. Obviously, it's like all ages, but it's more geared towards the older. They're always going to want to have those cartoons for the younger audiences.
Yeah. Yeah. I also feel too this theory that people have, and people might hate me for this one, but they're not going to erase this trilogy, guys. They're
No, they're
gonna be
not.
in it. And if even if they did, you then therefore would not get a ending to Luke, Leia, and Han, because I highly doubt Mark Hamill's going to come back and do a full blown movie again. Harrison
No,
Ford's not going to come back, and then our Princess Leia is gone already. So
rest
it
in
would
peace.
just be pointless, and they're not going to erase something that they put in so much money for. They don't give a fuck about what we think or care
No,
about.
they will use the extended universe to make corrections, and I don't care how much other people claim it's a cop out. That's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, they'll. We'll see. We'll see what they do. But you wanted to go into Marvel. You said you had some Marvel shit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh wait, are we done with? We're done with WandaVision, right?
Yeah, I think we
What
said
were
all we
your
had to say.
thoughts? What were your thoughts on it?
Oh, this episode was fucking crazy, man. I'm excited for I I've said before I'm normally a week to week person.
Uh,
I'm actually angry
yeah,
having to wait.
yeah. I wish that I heard that some of the later episodes are longer, so that'll be nice. But I do wish some of these other episodes were longer than like 30 minutes. I'm
Mm.
like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's the
Come on.
rule they wanna do. If the series is gonna be like 9 episodes, they want to do like 30, roughly 30 minutes, and if they're gonna be shorter, like 6 episodes, they're gonna go 45 or so.
Meanwhile, Netflix is out there dropping 50-minute episodes of shows and 13 episodes. So, just saying, Disney, get your shit together. Especially if this
Uh,
is supposed to be so epic.
yeah,
I will be rewatching the entire show though before Multiverse of Madness, since they keep saying it's going to lead into that. I hope it doesn't lead directly into it. I would like Multiverse of Madness to be able to be watched by other viewers without having to watch this show.
yeah. That's
Um,
a little bit of my concern because that they did that. The first Avengers, if you watch that and nothing else, they do an amazing job recapping. And
yes.
then kind of phase two, they moved away like a little bit. Like if you knew you could have skipped Avengers and they would have, if you only watching Iron Man or Thor or whatever, you could get caught up. But
Yeah.
phase three, they really throw that out the window. And at that point, I guess if it's a series, but still different mediums.
Yeah.
Uh, but I have faith they're going to be able to make it all right for people who didn't.
Yeah. So just in, somebody just called Disney out. Because Disney is dropping Raya and the Last Dragon on Disney Plus.
Hmm.
Um, which is an Asian movie, I believe it is. I'm not sure if it's Chinese or Japanese. I don't know too much about this film. But they're doing it on Disney Plus Premier Access, and it's going to cost $29.99 again. This person was like, "Wait, so you guys release Soul for free, but this isn't? This doesn't look good." And I mean,
I mean,
it's true.
yeah, I recently watched this video by a guy called Dosa Buckley. He's mostly a music critic, and he's Canadian, and he's got a wicked sense of humor. So he's not for everyone. Just to warn anyone who goes looking up his stuff. But
Uh,
he broke down the whole theater thing. It's not financially feasible for them to release this stuff without some kind of monetary gain.
it they should do what Warner Brothers is doing. Like
Well,
release
he
it
used
in
Warner
theater.
Brothers as an example. Actually, the whole they have to go into theaters. Like they can't. They're people who are worried about them going to Max and not theaters in the future. It's like unwarranted because they unless they increase the price of Max exponentially,
Hmm.
they are not going to earn back the money even for the stuff they announced, like the
I
fourth
also
Matrix and
Yeah. I also feel Warner Brothers is trying to suck up to the movie theater chains too, to be like, we're gonna be the only fuckers in your theater for the next year, but we're also gonna put it here just in case for other people. But you guys still get a little bit of the cut, so maybe down the line we can get a better deal with you moving forward when things are back together. Because then Warner Bros would be like, well, if it wasn't for us, nobody would have come to the theaters anyways. That
yeah,
might be a thought process that they have. So it's all
and
business.
I
They're doing it for something, you know. I
oh
do
yeah,
know Warner Brothers is also trying to get those subscribers in. So getting that
yeah,
money
because
in too is nice.
Max is reportedly underperforming their expectations.
Yeah. But it's also
Uh,
$15 a month opposed to Disney's $6.99, you know.
yeah,
So yeah. I can understand why Disney does it, but at the same time, it doesn't look good on their part either when it's these random things. It definitely doesn't look good with this movie. And then the only other movie they did it with was Mulan. So they're marketing it for that Chinese market because they think that the Chinese market is going to pay that $30 premium price. That's what they're marketing these two films for.
yeah,
Otherwise, they should have done it with a Soul. Whether Soul was good or not, like I thought it was okay. I still wouldn't have paid $30 for it either way, but they should have done that for like the first month, put Soul on there if they're going to try and do this with other movies.
yeah,
And the only two movies they're doing it with so far are Asian themed movies. He kind of looks fucked up. Like
yeah. They
you're
should
like,
have
well,
announced
these,
something else along
yeah,
with it.
yeah. Like you should have been like, well, this and
Black Widow.
Black Widow and so on so is going to be on premium this time at this time and this time. Not just here's Mulan and then a few months later, here's this other one. Then we're all just like, but y'all just released this very prominent black film that you just are like, it's not worth $30, right? Here, you can have it for free.
A
Fuck
film
off.
that'll
Like,
give children an existential crisis.
right? Like fuck off Disney. Like you guys they really need to look at their marketing strategy and pay attention to how not not only what they're doing but how people are going to react to some of these things. Cuz hearing
Yeah,
that, even just saying it, cuz I didn't think about it until I was saying it
I
with
didn't think about it either
Mulan
until.
in that, I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, that's really fucked up. So Disney, you're fucked up. Open your theme parks back up for like 30% capacity. I think they're at 25 still. I don't know.
Now that's up to the California weirdos. But
Oh no, Florida's is open. Disney
yeah,
World is open. So
I've seen.
other
I'm
countries.
a weird go. I watch the theme park live channel on YouTube, so I've seen they got some pretty decent sized crowds at these parks.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it is. We miss going out that much.
Wow. Well, wow.
Also, I have a friend that works at Disney World, so I kind of hope that get the glimpse every now and then, be like, "Hey, I saw you today."
Oh shit. All right, so let's stop talking about Disney and we'll talk about Marvel Disney, I guess, because you had
Yeah,
some
let's
Marvel shit.
continue with Disney. I
The
was just going
good
to ask.
part of Disney.
For now, we'll see how long that lasts in the
Yeah,
eye
we'll
of
see.
public opinion.
See what they do with Captain Marvel 2. That'll be the one that gets everybody.
uh, but they've been since they declared that this one takes place after WandaVision takes place after Endgame,
Mhm.
and we know Falcon and the Winter Soldier also. What is like? Do you think they're going to be concurrent, or maybe lead into one another, or maybe
The shows
because
or the
I would like to
movies?
have some shows, the shows, because I would
Oh,
like something set in those 5 years.
the shows are all taking place, as far as I know, anyways. Falcon Winter Soldier takes place after Endgame. Falcon Winter Soldier is supposedly, from what I had heard, like months and months ago, um, is hold on a sec. There we go. Is that uh shit? It's like the American government doesn't want Falcon to have the shield and be labeled Captain America.
Which I'll
Like
be curious for their reasoning, because I mean, in the comics, he was an ex-con, but in this, he's ex-military.
yeah, buddy. I'm sure they'll play like some of the racial politics stuff into it, or at least that will be the undertone. Let's say that'll be the undertone. I don't know if that's. I don't think Disney's gonna make that like super prominent, but there'll be an undertone within it.
I wonder
I
if
don't know
Winter
what they're.
Soldier is going to be made majority of the problem, since he's a Russian assassin.
Maybe. I do know the guy from Civil War is coming back into the show. He was in the trailer. The bad guy. Fuck.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool. I liked him.
Just a human dude. Um, and then there is
Trucker.
there's another
Oh, okay.
guy who the government supposedly wants to carry the shield and shit like that. So
Iron Patriot.
no, it's
Zemo.
not. What's that?
Zemo. Helmet Zemo.
Oh yeah. But no, it's not Iron Patriot. It's
Damn.
I forget what the fuck that character's name is. He's like a wannabe Captain America.
Oh, Patriot, but he's the Young Avenger.
Yes. Is it Patriot? Let me
Might Captain
yes.
America knockoffs.
No, wait. Patriot is
Unless they do was it Nuke from Jessica Jones?
uh
Uh, Agent America. Wait, is that Marvel?
Agent America?
John Flagg. So I think that's DC. Yeah, okay. This is all DC or
Okay. Captain America. No. So yeah, I think they're all taking place after Endgame. Loki takes place throughout time in a different universe.
yeah, in the alternate
So
timeline.
I don't know. That's one I'm very curious to see how they play it. Um, and what characters are going to be there, because this is also going to be in the time. Like, here's the thing. Okay, he has the Tesseract. The Tesseract travels through space, not time, right? So how is he traveling through time with the Tesseract? That's what gets me.
Yeah, it'll be curious. I mean, he's also magical, so it might be some portion of that. But I'm real curious to find out what you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Because I'm
please
curious
have Jeff
about-
Goldblum appear.
Well, I mean, clearly Asgard's still there because they have the
Yeah, they didn't destroy it yet
yeah.
in that timeline.
Well, you see when he in the trailer. Did you ever see the trailer for this show? The
Yeah.
first trailer when he jumps out the plane. That's the portal from Asgard that catches him in the air. A lot of people were trying to say, "Oh, he's just like jumping out of the plane and time traveling." I'm like, no, that's clearly the Rainbow Bridge. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I forget what they call it, but it's the Rainbow
Bifrost.
Bridge. Bifrost, yes. The Rainbow Bridge, man. In the Avengers cartoon, it was just a rainbow bridge up to Asgard.
And comics.
Yes, and in the comics. It'd be nice to see that. So yeah, so that was your question?
Yeah, I was just what where do you think? Because I mean, we also found out that they are moving forward with Deadpool 3.
Yes, they are. Feige announced that, correct? That they're moving
Yeah.
forward Deadpool 3 and it's going to be a rated R Deadpool. And he's going to fit into the MCU. So it's not going to be like a multiverse thing. So we'll see where they go with it. I guess we'll see how far along down the line it is too. I hope that they don't do too much MCUing to it, you know, where because the first two or the first one especially was shot on a really low budget for
Yeah.
that size of a film. Um, and then the second one, I think they got a little bit bigger budget, but still wasn't like a
Which I
massive
still have to
MCU
watch.
budget. Really? You haven't seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the Christmas version, but I want to get
Yeah.
the actual one.
We took the kids because they wanted to watch Deadpool so bad. I ended up taking the kids to go see the Deadpool Christmas one because it's
Okay, okay.
PG-13.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for charity.
Yeah. So we did that and which was fun, you know. It's basically the same movie. They just cut out a little bit more violence and some cussing and shit like that. So
Honestly, it was a nice idea. I think it was Ryan Reynolds' idea to do it too.
probably seems like most of that movie was Ryan Reynolds' idea. Most of those movies in general are his idea. Um but yeah, I'm excited to see what they can do with it. I 100% think that they're going to do a Deadpool Spider-Man team up at one point. I don't know if Sony will allow that, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what they do.
I think
Sony
their
would be
ideas are
stupid not
pretty.
to.
Yeah, they're very much intertwined.
Yeah.
Like in their lore and stuff, especially with Kingpin.
Oh no, like Deadpool's costume is based because he likes Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And same with fucking Venom. Venom designed his look because of Spider-Man. They don't do that in the first Venom movie.
Which Morbius delayed, by the way, sucks.
Mm.
Give Matt Smith a break.
That's the one with Jared Leto, right?
Yeah, but you know, everyone knows Matt Smith is the one to watch.
I want to see it because of um fucking hell. They're putting Michael Keaton in it.
Mhm.
Which then automatically connects it to the MCU, I feel. Instantly.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I mean, do they tackle the 5-year gap? Like, what are we doing? Like, was it before the
Oh yeah,
5-year
Sony
gap?
could fill that 5 year.
It's like, because I feel that's how they're going to explain a lot of these criminals that we've seen, especially like in Hulk, because they're gonna bring in, or She-Hulk, because they're bringing in Abomination. I heard. And then of course Falcon Winter Soldier, they're bringing in the guy from Civil War. It's like, oh, how'd they get out? Oh, during the 5-year gap when you know, they you know.
Yeah, because there was a prison break in Agents of Shield at Abomination's prison. I
Okay.
forget what they called it, but I
Wasn't
think
he in
they
the Ark?
said No, not the R. That one was in Civil War. This one was different.
Okay.
Uh, but I think they even said in there they're staying away from him. And he's like, well, they're smart then.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause,
I'm
that's when Hydra was raiding all the Shield stuff.
I'm interested if they'll bring in the micro prison in the what the fuck did
Ooh,
they call that? It was a different dimension, but it was like when they shrunk the prisoners down to molecule size, basically.
yeah,
Fucking
that would have to. I think they'd have to introduce the Fantastic Four
yeah.
first for the I
Well, I
want to call
mean
it the negative zone.
the negative. No,
It's
is it
not
the
that.
negative zone? No, I don't remember what they called it. But I feel they could do that with Ant-Man without even the Fantastic Four.
Well, they're the ones that find it.
Yeah,
What
but
was it?
I mean, Ant-Man could literally just start shrinking fucking villains down and put them in there.
Yeah.
Basically, how they did for what was it, the Anti-Monitor in the CW. He's just
Oh,
continuously shrinking. He's not dead. He's not gone.
yeah. The Cage was the one that they had in Agents of Shield.
Cage. Okay. I know the arc is where they were at in Civil War.
Mhm.
Tony goes there, but the arc
Or
is
no, that was Raft. I'm sorry.
the raft. Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking. The raft. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, which one? What's the difference between the arc and the raft?
Not entirely sure.
I think they're the same thing. I think I'm just mistaking the name.
It is called the Negative Zone. Prison 42 is the one you're thinking
That's
of.
Prison 42.
It's where they stuck a lot of the heroes during Civil War.
Yeah. But in the movie, that same prison in Civil War movie is the same prison they take Jessica Jones's sister to. They mentioned that in her season. If you haven't watched that, I'm sorry.
Wait, she has a sister?
Spoilers.
That's all right. It's been long enough. I should have finished it by now.
The best season is the first season by
Mm,
far.
I like season 2 more, but everyone's got their preference.
And then I should go back and rewatch the Defenders show, like that one season that they did.
I love it.
There
It was
were
like an extended movie to me.
yeah, there were rumors that uh Daredevil, the guy who played Daredevil, was on set for Spider-Man. So
Rumors, nothing confirmed, and no set photos.
shit. Ah, shit. I'm hearing a lot of weird noises. I don't know if you're popping or what, or if I'm popping.
I was bumping my desk. It might have been that.
Mm, okay.
Let me mute.
Uh, okay. All right. So what else you got, man?
Ah, I got. Did you see the Invincible uh, footage that dropped the other day?
I didn't watch any of the footage. No.
It's it makes me a little worried that they're just gonna do, you know, panel for panel the comic,
Yeah.
because like I love the comic, but I don't want to watch the comic. I would like to watch something a little different. But apparently, uh, they're still making a live action TV series that's different than the animated, or not TV series, a movie that's going to be different than the Amazon's TV series.
Gotcha.
So that'll be interesting. I wonder, because I know what's Bloodfeed guy Rogan was interested in that. Oh, it says right here Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg are still attached. So
Mm, gotcha. That's a cartoon, right?
I thought, is he attached to the cartoon? I thought he was the movie.
I don't know.
But yeah, film series with Universal with Seth and Evan. So
Oh shit. All right. Um, I don't know if I have anything else, man. I'm cash.
no, I just got a I
We're
just
getting
got some
slow.
other
Oh.
shit that I heard that I thought was interesting, but I don't know if anyone else will find it interesting. So
Go ahead. What you got? What you got?
I had this past couple weeks. I found out Stan Lee wrote the theme to Defenders of the Earth, and the '80s TMNT intro that has become synonymous with the entire franchise. That was written by Chuck Lorre.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No,
Yeah. He used to write a bunch of jingles. That's why Charlie Sheen's character wrote jingles in that 2.5 Men.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Yeah.
Or you know.
Uh, yeah. I mean, the only other thing I got is Liam Neeson saying he's leaving action films.
Mm, probably because he
Wait,
wants to go and find another person to try and kill. We're not gonna say what kind of person because he's an asshole. Fucking why would you say that on TV? Did you ever hear that? Like,
yeah, I did. Yeah.
okay. That's like, why would you tell someone that story? Like, did you think you were gonna get sympathy points or some shit? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? His PR agent must have been pissed the fuck off.
Oh, I could just imagine if they took the camera and just panned a little bit. You see him offset with his mouth open. Why?
Oh, I guarantee you, some of the camera guys were probably like, "Did he just say what I think he fucking said?" Like, cause the second he would have left set, that's when I would have looked over at the interviewer and be like, "What? What happened? What? What the fuck?" Oh,
Yeah, but I guess some people want him to do a Naked Gun reboot. With, um, was it Leslie Nielsen? He was known as a serious actor before he did that comedy. So they think maybe he can.
Leslie Nielsen's character?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm good.
Maybe follow the same path, but
No, I'm good.
I don't know if it'll work.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, he should just stick to his Taken movies, and and hope to God they don't ever have a scene in there where he's shooting a person of color again, because he looks fucking moron. Oh,
Did did Nick Cage ever release his Taken with a truffle pig?
I don't know. Oh, Nick Cage has a movie coming out in February called
Yeah, the
Willy's Wonderland.
yeah, not to be confused with the Willy Wonka prequel.
Yeah, fuck them. No, that's stupid. I saw them casting for that. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, why do we need a pre? Also, we got a cool like little backstory origin of him in Johnny Depp's uh one.
Was it cool?
It was freaky, but it was cool.
I
With
mean, even
what?
uh, I was gonna say even the author found problems figuring out what to do with him after he left the chocolate factory because they just didn't find him interesting.
Right? I don't see what they're gonna do as a backstory. It's like he's not that interesting of a character, really. Like they played him up in the movies, but I don't.
Drop my taffy.
Huh?
I dropped my taffy. I'm sad.
The only thing I could see see them do really is like a little bit of his childhood for like about 5-10 minutes, and then we jump to him being a little older where he's finding Oompa Loompas.
They will never do a proper adaptation of that book because it is problematic.
Yeah, lots of things are problematic, but hey, they might be doing some more shit with who is it, J.K. Rowling?
Oh
So,
yeah, possible Harry Potter TV show.
so HBO doesn't care about problematic.
They don't care about JK. They pretty much own everything but the books, so they're like, whatever.
I find it funny that people on Twitter complain about these things like nonstop. Like people actually give a shit. It's like, who cares? Like, I see people constantly trying to cancel certain people just because they don't have the same thought process as them on like like for actors and shit like that. It's like you're trying to get this person fired just because you don't believe what they believe, or like you want them to feel like they need to bend their will, if you would, to fucking society. And it's getting
Hey,
annoying.
anyone who gets upset by stuff, I didn't care for Fight Club. Come at me.
Fuck you. You know what? That's fine. I'll allow it.
But I am curious about the Nick Cage movie, the Five Nights at Freddy's looking thing.
Yeah, Willy's Wonderland and
What was that other one they did recently with like the Banana Group or something?
Banana Splits. That was an
Yes.
awesome film. Yeah. So I don't know. Um, but yeah, they're gonna try anyways to do a Harry Potter TV show. And I don't think
But
that JK will be connected to it more than just her name tossed onto it. I highly doubt
probably not even that. Maybe in the credits, like at the very end.
she'll have like a producer credit because she did create the franchise or a characters based on shit like that. We'll see
You
how far
know that they're trying to outright buy the license from her.
yeah.
Because they anything connected to the movies, it's theirs. It's right, just theirs. But if it's the book, like the play,
Yeah.
that's hers. So
Oh,
that's why anything you see, they look like the actors from the movies because WB wants that money
right.
and not to give it to her.
Well, I still think that if they do this show, if they're gonna do it as like the books and not like a prequel or a sequel to the books, um, put it on the CW. Just call it quits and put it on the CW. I think it would be good content for the CW, honestly, especially with them losing Supernatural now and shit like that. And what do they have? They just have a bunch of comic book shows now. It's like
Pretty much.
toss on Harry Potter to there, and you're in the age group still of them. So, and then they can toss in their like gender politics of why is what's it's not Gandalf. Who's the main wizard?
And Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. They all look alike. All wizards look alike.
Well, yeah, he's got the long beard, so yeah,
So like,
stereotypical.
have something where Dumbledore's not like in charge all the time, or I don't fucking know. You know how the CW does. Um
Yeah, I could see it happening, but I also want the budget.
well, you can't have everything, Tivis.
I know.
Then they should just give it to Netflix.
You know the what is that? What We Do in the Shadows TV show with all the vampires, the iconic ones they get together.
Huh?
Do a show like that, but with all the like stereotypical looking wizards, like was it Merlin, Dumbledore, Gandalf?
Yeah. That would be awesome. That would be kind of cool. There is another movie I want to recommend. It is
Mhm.
on oh, fucking hell. Amazon Prime. Ah, let me see here. It is called because I wanted to get the exact name because I knew I'd fuck it up. It's called One Night in Miami. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's a fictional account. I'll read this exact fictional account of an incredible night where icons Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown gathered discussing their roles in the civil rights movement and cultural upheaval of the 60s. This looks awesome. I believe it's a film. It's not a show, right? No, it's a film. It's an hour and 50. No, wait. What the hell did that take me to? That took me to. Why is it? Ugh, stupid thing. It took me to Ali, the movie. uh,
The boxer.
yeah, Muhammad Ali, the boxer. Like I said, it's a fictional account of it.
Mm.
It's not like something that really happened, but it's really cool. Regina King directs it. It's hour 54 minutes, and I'm trying to show Kingsley Ben Adir plays Malcolm X. Eli Gorey plays Cassius Clay, which is Muhammad Ali. If people didn't know, Cassius Clay was what he went by a long time ago before people called him Muhammad Ali. Aldous Hodge, it was Jim Brown. Leslie Odom Jr. is Sam Cooke, and Lance Reddick is Kareem X. They got a bunch of other cast members. Um, but it's supposed to just be based around those main guys right there. It looks really cool. I'm gonna watch the shit out of it. Probably when I'm done with the season of Dexter, season 4 of Dexter. And then yeah, I'll probably be talking about that on here. So if you, Tivis, want to watch it, feel free to watch it and we can talk about it. And
Okay.
if any of our listeners out there are gonna watch it, let us know and hit us up.
What was the name again?
It's called One Night in Miami and it's on Amazon Prime. And then if anyone wants to come on and talk about it, how about that? We'll say that. If you want to come on and talk about it, hit us up on Twitter at Operation Babble, or you can also email us at operationbabble@outlook.com. Is that correct? Yes. And then if you guys want to try and show some support for the podcast, because we are a tiny, tiny self-produced podcast, we do have Patreon set up now. It's at patreon.com/Operation Babble. And we have 3 tiers, I believe, right now. The lowest tier starts at $2 a month. And you get a bunch of cool stuff, plus shout out. And then it goes up from there. The next tier, you get original content specific for Patreon from one of us hosts. And me and Tivis might even be doing a Power Rangers talk through Patreon as well. We're looking at doing that.
We've also talked about a What the Fuck CW spinoff.
Yes. Do our like Batwoman or all that other shit on there. Especially because I didn't watch Batwoman. I might wait until another episode comes out and watch 2 at a time. I always find like shows that I am like on are always a little better if I watch multiples at a time. Like an Inhuman show I was telling you about the other day. I watched all of Inhumans at once because I was like, if I wouldn't have done that, I probably wouldn't have kept going. I wouldn't have.
I feel bad for the people who watched those first 2 episodes in IMAX. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, because they played those first 2 in theaters, didn't they? Oh yeah. I would have been pissed off if I paid to see that. Are you
Yep.
kidding me? Fucking hell. I forgot all about that. It wasn't even that cool looking.
No.
And it was just like whitewashed to hell. Like, not like race people chill. It's not the academies.
It
But
was
like,
very
like
like
bright as fuck.
yeah.
It's sad I have to say that nowadays, but we're in today's society. So sorry, Tivis. God.
Honest to God, the story didn't even get interesting till like episode 4 either.
If that, you know. And then fucking they take off Medusa's hair anyway, spoilers. Which is like the coolest thing. And then like Anson
I think
Mount,
that happens in the first episode. That's not a spoiler. Just being
yeah.
disappointed.
But then Anson Mount, he's like a really good actor. He's in Discovery. He was on the Star Trek Discovery season 2. He's getting his own Star Trek show as Captain Pike. Um Dude is a great actor. I know he's been in this Western show as well, that I was told to watch because he's like really good in that. But like they don't even let him really emote in Humans, which kind of made me sad. I was like,
I
what?
I'm real
We
like
were
I'm glad they went with him for the show since they weren't in costume like at all.
Mhm.
But if they were gonna do like a proper royal show where they're in costume, like majority of the time,
Yeah.
I really liked the idea that they were throwing around at the what was it? Not Marvel. Was it Marvel Studios? Yeah, they did the TV stuff. Uh, they wanted Vin Diesel to be him because his voice is Groot, and then he would be physically there for a character not talking.
Yeah. It'd be interesting.
You just get his grunts.
I would really like to see them do a better iteration of Inhumans with the same cast or not. I don't care. I know Anson Mount's on the bigger and better things, having his own show and all that too. I doubt Marvel's going to touch Inhumans for another at least 5 years.
No, they're gonna get mutants out before they go back.
Yeah. So we'll see what they do with it. And as far as everything else, I think I shilled our stuff already. Operation Babble at outlook.com if you want to hit us up through the emails. We had someone hit us up. I just responded to you. So if you're listening to this, cool. We have Operation Babble at Twitter via Operation Babble and Operation or Facebook.com/Operation Babble and our Facebook group. Do you know the URL for that? It's Facebook.com/Operation Babble group, I believe.
I think so. I have it right here. I'm pretty active in that one. I don't really use Twitter that much.
Right.
I'll get on there, to check if you guys do, at me.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It is Facebook.com/group/
Oh, here it is.
Operation Babble. And then we have Teespring at teespring.com/stores/Operation Babble. And
Buy a
then
mug.
what's that?
Buy a mug.
Buy a mug.
They're cool and usable.
Buy a condom. Buy a hat. No, we don't have condoms, just so.
I was gonna say, do you sell those?
And then another thing, if you guys just want to find all of our links to everything, you can go to linktr.ee/Operation Babble or linktree/Operation Babble. I'm sure it'll take you directly there if you go to linktree/Operation Babble. Yeah, so other than that, I have nothing else to go on but a quote. If Tivis, you are done, let me know.
No, I liked it.
All right. My quote for the day is from WandaVision, episode 1 or 2. I forget which it is. By Agnes. I was just reading a Cracker Jack magazine article called "How to Treat Your Husband to Keep Your Husband." Let me tell you. Oh shit! I fucked up. I'm gonna start over. Agnes.
It's episode 1, by the way.
What's that? Episode 1. Okay. Agnes from episode 1 of WandaVision. I was just reading a Cracker Jack magazine article called "How to Treat Your Husband to Keep Your Husband." Let me tell you what, Ralph could really use it. Wow, why can't I? Holy shit. Their punctuation on this is horrible.
It's like I wrote it.
I was just reading a Cracker Jack magazine article called "How to Treat Your Husband to Keep Your Husband." Let me tell you, what Ralph could really use is how to goose your wife so you don't lose your wife.
I hope that all stays in.
What's that?
I hope that all stays in.
Thank you, and have a good day. Peace.
Later.
You just finished another great episode of Operation Babble. You can catch every episode of Operation Babble on all your audio streaming services, including SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and more. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Operation Babble, and join the conversation today by searching for the Operation Babble group on Facebook. Links also in the description. Thanks, and have a great day.